Now, throughout history, we can think about different cars that served as the meta, the vanguard of the zeitgeist at that time. We got the Ford Mustang, we got the Toyota Prius, but for the 2010s, 2020s, I think what we got right here just might be that meta. Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? Roy Robles here from Zigwheels.Ph, and today we'll be talking about one of the fastest growing brands in the Philippines and their most popular model, the Tesla Model Y. So the Tesla Model Y is being marketed as a crossover SUV, but it's unlike any other crossover SUV I've seen in the market today, and I think you'd agree. But the exterior proportions that we got right here on the outside, it kind of looks like a raised hatchback. But come to think of it, a lot of brands have been doing that, and guess who they got the idea from? Ta-da! The Tesla Model Y. Now for 2025 and now 2026, I'm glad that they were able to bring in the latest model with the newest design right here. And guess what? We're actually one of the first countries who got this particular model. You got this huge light bar running in the front right here. It's got that RoboCop aesthetic that I actually kind of really appreciate right here. If you compare this to the old Model Y and how the Model 3 looks like, it's miles ahead. Now you got your headlamps right here at the lower part of this DRLs on each side, and you got some aerodynamic holes there as well. Now, one thing that we got right here is this huge hood, but underneath you won't find the engine. Instead, you'd find what we call the frunk. Now with the Tesla Model Y, I see they actually installed the cooler that they have right here. So if you want to take this out tailgating, or should I say front gating, if you want to go out on those outdoor parties, you can always do so. Now, if you want to drain out the water, they do have some sort of plug there to drain out all of the water that you have in case you wanted to go out on tailgating, or should I say front gating. But that's one more thing that we have with the Model Y. Now with the Model Y, you do get 360-degree camera system, but it's not just any other 360-degree camera system. They've added some more cameras right there on the B pillars, as we'll talk about later as we walk around. If you want to get those special colors, that's going to cost you extra. But if you're not particular with the color choices that you have, you're going to have a great deal. I'm going to talk about that later on. So the biggest clue that you know that you're driving around in a crossover SUV is the ground clearance. In this case right here, you got 167 millimeters of ground clearance, which puts it well in the mix when it comes to crossover SUVs. Plus, you got these black claddings right here, just very minimal, kind of a lip on the fenders just to help protect the paint, but nothing too aggressive and too outdoorsy. Now you got these 19-inch alloy wheels, and they have this aerodynamic design again to help out with the drag coefficient, and they're shot in 255/45 R19 tires. I kind of appreciate how it looks. Again, it's a crossover SUV, but because of those thin profile tires, it helps out with the overall aesthetic of the Tesla Model Y. Now again, you got cameras right here on the side and another camera right here on the B pillar to help out with the overall visibility of the car. You got your flush door handles right here. You don't have any repeater signals on the side here on the side mirrors though, but that is again an aesthetic choice on their part, I guess. And this look here, like I said, kind of like a raised hatchback in my opinion. And if you opt for a different performance profile, they have a performance package for this one. It has a nice spoiler right there in the back. That's it, and nicer wheels too. Speaking of wheels, if you want to change those 19-inch alloy wheels to 20-inch alloy wheels, again, that's gonna cost you extra, but as it stands right now, I kind of like this one. And right here at the back of the Tesla Model Y, a lot of that RoboCop aesthetic that I was talking about can be seen, and wow. Probably one of my favorite changes with this model year change is this light bar that runs across the rear side. Now, if you notice, it creates some sort of kind of diffuser effect, reflecting the light right here on the back panel, just right on top of the Tesla badge or Tesla iconography that we got right here. It creates some sort of iconic or monolithic effect, and that is by design. Very futuristic. Just those small touches add a little bit to the design instead of having the light pointing outwards, which is pretty nice in its own right. But here, reflecting against this panel, really nice. You got this spoiler looking lip right here in the back, but again, if you opt for different other packages, you can add a spoiler right there as well. And if you want to open it up, it's got a power lifting tailgate. You got all this space on the inside, plus, check this out, lifting this lip right here, you get even more space right here for even more stuff. Plus, how hard is this? I mean, if you lift up this floor, instead of having it to flop around, you actually have this locking mechanism to keep it open. And if you need even more space, at the push of a button in this entry-level vanilla Tesla Model Y, the second row seats fold completely flat, creating an almost truck-like space to put in all of your longer items right here in the back, which is pretty nice. Again, this is the entry-level rear-wheel drive variant. If you need it a little bit more extra, they do have those options available for you. So if you're wondering why this particular Tesla Model Y doesn't have this weird badge right here on the side, it's because it's the entry level, but it doesn't seem like entry level to me, especially when we see on the inside. So let's go and see what we can find. All right, so finally we're inside a Tesla. So this is how it feels like. So you have Tesla to blame if your favorite car model or if those new car brands, new cars don't have any other buttons, because this is actually totally devoid of buttons right here on the dashboard. The only buttons that we have right here for physical buttons are these Tesla nipples, as I call them, on the steering wheel, which you can control different functions for, and we'll get to that later on. I'm just glad that the Tesla Model Y now has a turn signal stock here, and includes the Tesla Model 3, because previously they usually had it as buttons right here on the side. Let's talk about the heart and soul, the central command center of the Model Y, and that's this huge touchscreen infotainment system. Everything that you need to control is right here on the screen, and that includes the glove box. That's right, you don't have any buttons on the outside to activate or turn or open the glove box. You have it right here on the screen. I am glad that at least you have the option to customize one of the buttons right here on the steering wheel to activate the glove box. So I've actually set that up right here on the left nipple to open up that way. So right here you also have your controls for your headlamps, your wiper, your windshield wipers right there. And again, even controlling and folding your mirrors is here. So right there, if you need to adjust your mirrors, your side mirrors right there, you do have that option. So I do have to choose left or right. So left, you can actually scroll the wheel up and down and then move it left or right to adjust. There we go. Same goes with the right. That's it. You can even set it up to auto dim, so in case someone's flashing behind you. Now the steering wheel is adjustable for reach and brake, but you just won't have to adjust it right here. Again, it's on the screen. So there you go. As you can see, we're adjusting up and down, in or out. Now that's how you adjust the steering wheel. Now one thing that I noticed is that at first when I started to drive this Tesla, this is all very new to me, and everything about my 40-year-old self is starting to be an old man shouting at clouds, because why don't you just give me all of these buttons right here where it can easily reach it? Now as I've used it, it just kind of it dawned on me that these are all settings, all buttons that I don't have to actually activate or use while I'm driving. Now it might take some getting used to, but once I got used to it, it felt like second nature to me, which is kind of nice. Now one thing that you have right here on the screen though is that apart from all these usual buttons or settings that you find usually outside, that's where you can actually find all of these nice Tesla goodies on the inside. From driving dynamics, you can change it right here, charging settings, even your autopilot. Autopilot is Tesla's advanced driver assist system. So for this entry-level rear-wheel drive variant, you have adaptive cruise control, which they call traffic-aware cruise control. You can have speed limiters right there. You have lane keep assist, lane departure warning, rear cross traffic alert. Again, that 360-degree camera system will talk to you and give you all of the information that you need as you drive. So as you drive here, it actually gives you not just a visual representation of your surroundings, but heat signals. That's right, heat signals as you drive. So if we're driving like this and we're nearing a wall or such, it's going to give you this warning that it's starting to get red. So stop it. Stop, stop, stop. So it's going to stop you from moving forward, or tell you to stop moving forward, apart from the visual confirmation that we have right here. Let's talk about that 360-degree camera. Usually I talk it during safety, but I think it's pretty nice and pretty nifty. So apart from the 360-degree camera system, which is pretty nice, even at night, by the way, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cameras. 6 cameras in this car. So you can actually view them, the front, the sides, the usual sides, and the ones in the B pillars, as well as the back. And it actually records your drive. So you have a 360-degree dash cam working for you, which is quite a nifty feature if you ask me. Now that 360-degree camera system actually works as you're parked as well. So it's like you have a 24/7 CCTV on your Tesla Model Y, which is pretty amazing. So it records a loop, and then if it finds anything significant, it saves that loop and saves it as a highlights for you to check out later on. So apart from that, you have your standard safety features like airbags, ABS, brake force distribution, the usual standard, but it has one more extra setting for safety. For safety, you can actually deactivate the front passenger airbag. Why is that important? Because if you want to put in a car seat right here in the front, you don't want to have an airbag right there. It's going to, that is catastrophic. So if you want to put a baby seat right here in front, you have to deactivate the front passenger airbag, and that's it. That's all she wrote. So that's a little bit more something from the Tesla Model Y. Now again, you have to go back to the screen to control your air conditioning vents, because you won't find any levers right here to control the vents. So we got all that. You even have cooled and heated seats for the front and heated seats for the back as well. One thing that this has though, when it comes to the air conditioning system, this has nuclear mode with them. Biohazard mode. Yeah, that's called biohazard mode. So with biohazard mode, it shuts down all of the exterior vents from getting inside to make sure that you have total control over the air quality of the interior. So if you're passing through, let's say, a smoky area where they're burning some grass fields, you can turn that on. It will try its best to keep all of the smells, all of the impurities on the outside. All right. Now that we've gone through all of the boring things about the interior here, let's talk about the exciting things. You have theater mode. In theater mode, you can actually watch your different shows here. You got Netflix, you got YouTube, you got Twitch, and even watch a tutorial right there from Tesla right there. You can only access that theater mode if you're parked. So if you want to work right here, and you can watch YouTube right here on the big screen, but if you're driving, it will only work on the second row screen right here in the back. You even have arcade mode. So with arcade mode, you can actually customize the different games right here, but the installed games are pretty nice as well. It's got Fallout Shelter, one of my favorite games. It is installed right there, which is nice. And different other apps. If you're asking if it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it does not. It does not have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, because you can have all your apps installed right here in the front, no problems. It even has Google Maps to activate your maps right here, and it just proves that we are all bred and we all grew up to Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, because all you gotta do is pin your location like that, and you can head on over there. Easy. And even have Spotify. So this car has 8 speakers. This is the entry-level variant. The upper variant has even more speakers, and it sounds just amazing. One of my favorite settings here, features or apps, is Boombox, where you can actually customize different sounds, the lock sounds, from either fart mode, goat mode, or some other funny sound that you can find right there. I'm gonna go with farts, because we are secretly 10-year-olds. Even change the horn sound to different settings there. Let's go with the cucaracha and preview. Again, you can only activate this once you're parked. It has megaphone function to actually check out, to actually just try to go ahead and use that. You're not going to able to use the megaphone function while you're driving because, guys, it's illegal, okay? So you can only use that as a flex whenever you're in a parking lot. Let's talk about the interior. This is pretty nice. I mean, a lot of people have been saying that Teslas are pretty cheap and plasticky, but they seem to have listened to a lot of the feedback because it's got soft touch materials everywhere. Even the top part of the dashboard here has got soft touch materials. You got this nice fabric right here on the door cards. There's no hard touch materials except for this trim right here. You have this light bar running across the front of the dashboard, creating some sort of arc, and you have a similar light right there in the back. You have two fast wireless chargers right here in front, and a deep cubby hole. Where is it? Yes, it's right here in the entire center console. You got one right there in front, two cup holders. All you gotta do is press easy. There you go, it closes down real nice. Now the seats, they're made of this nice leather material right here. Again, they may have updated their interior game because this is pretty nice, a nice place to be in. Now, one glaring feature that I have overlooked is this glass roof on top. Now, this thing adjusts itself according to how bright it is on the outside. So even during this really hot day, it's really bright today, it's still pretty dark on the inside. So I actually forgot that this thing is made of glass. It just gets really dark on the inside despite the fact it's bright on the outside. And it doesn't really emanate a lot of heat because of the air conditioning system, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice feature. The seats are power operated for both the passenger and the driver. And yeah, as a car, it works pretty nice. I forgot to tell you about this camera, by the way. So just in case you want to do anything shady, the car, your Tesla, is recording you right there. So maybe put some tape right there if you feel a little paranoid. To drive your Tesla and shift up and down, again, the shifter is on the screen. That's right. So on the screen, just swipe up right here on the left side to go to drive, swipe down for reverse, tap for park. That's it. But you're telling me, Roy, what if the screen gets ruined, gets destroyed, and you won't be able to touch it? You won't be able to drive. There is an emergency parking or shifting button right here on the top, PRND, right in between or right around the hazard lights. All right, so right here in the second row of the Tesla Model Y, this is where you get to enjoy riding around in an electric crossover SUV because you have tons of space to work with because of the fact that you no longer have an engine right there where it has to contend with the wheels, with the suspension, with the drive knuckles and all that. They can actually extend those wheels out and add a little bit more space on the inside. And this is a space fest indeed. You got a flat floor, you got tons of room for my knees and my legs, and even headroom is very ample because you have a glass roof. And this huge, nice screen right here in the back. It's not going to be as big as the front screen, but it is workable. Now, the beauty about this, though, is that you can actually install or pair a wireless controller to play these games right here. I could have had put the screen right here on the back of the headrest, so it's more natural and more comfortable, but the fact that you have to tilt your head down just to watch, that's kind of a bummer. So that's all I can say about the interior of the Tesla Model Y. I'm sure that there is a lot more to talk about here on the inside, but let's do that next time. Because for now, let's go ahead and test out its performance. All right, so we're now behind the wheel of the Tesla Model Y. We're driving in the entry-level rear-wheel drive variant, but with all the features that we discussed earlier, it certainly does not feel like an entry-level variant. So let's see how it drives. Now, being the rear-wheel drive variant, it's pretty much lower on power as compared to the all-wheel drive one, but not by much. 0 to 100 in this car still gets you about 5.8 seconds. So 0 to 100, 5.8 seconds, which is nothing to sneeze at. So you got 295 horsepower and 420 Newton meters of torque. But if you check out Tesla's website or their brochures, they really don't, they don't publish those types of numbers. They want to give you the experience. So again, 5.8 seconds, 0 to 100. Now, let's talk about range. This early on, usually when we discuss electric vehicles, we talk about the range. And this one has got a lot of it. You got 466 kilometers worth of range on the entry-level rear-wheel drive one, and on the higher variant, the long-wheel range variant, that gets you up to 600. That's right, 600 kilometers in a single charge. So if you're thinking about getting an electric vehicle and you want to be, you want to make range anxiety the least of your concerns, the Tesla Model Y is one of those cars. So related to range and charging and all that is, of course, the charging infrastructure. Now, since you're driving around in a Tesla, you understand that there are now Tesla superchargers in the country, which can charge your car from 20 to 80% in just, get this, 20 minutes. So just 20 minutes, you'll be up and running and good to go. But does that mean that you can't charge your car in any other charging station? Well, guess what? You can actually. With the type of charging ports that this car has, you can actually charge this up in any other charging station right here in the Philippines, in those malls, those fast chargers where you can pay. But the difference with charging at a Tesla supercharger is, apart from the fact that right now, it is much cheaper than having to actually charge in those other charging stations, and much faster as well. Plus, you don't have to contend that much when it comes to lining up. You see, this is how it works. The way that you charge at a Tesla supercharger is that you set it up on your phone, just as anything else on your phone. You do have the Tesla app where you can access Sentry mode. You can actually have this cool summoning system, or ASS. I'm not gonna say what ASS is, but ASS, you have the summoning mode that I'm showing you right now, right here, and everything else. So you've got your charging. So once you get to a supercharger, just set it up, see what charging station you want to go to, and then plug it in. Now once you plugged it in, you're gonna have you'll actually pay through the app itself automatically. So you don't have to worry to be online, in line for whoever goes in and out. It's going to tell you if it's being used at the moment or not. And you don't have to worry about other people hogging those turbochargers, because Tesla does charge a surge rate if there is a line, or if you stay in a charger way beyond your time limit, or when you already reached your prescribed percentage. Now let's talk about exactly how the Tesla Model Y drives. First of all, you've got one pedal driving right here. So one pedal driving means you don't have to actually depress the brake pedal. And this is one of my favorite ways to drive. I first experienced this in the Nissan Leaf, and now I'm experiencing it right now in the Tesla Model 3. And it's a much more refined system than ever. Well, because this is more of like a next generation product, and I like it. But you do have the option to reduce that type of driving, and you can still drive it old school, you know, right one go, left one stop. Yes, you can actually put a note right there, right go, left stop. Now it also has regenerative braking, which for me, I've actually set it up to be quite aggressive right now, so that it can charge the car, especially during city traffic like this one. It's very helpful, as well. It actually helps out with the regenerative braking, or should I say the one pedal driving as well. Now, the steering wheel is adjustable, as I've shown you earlier right here. There is an option, light, medium, and strong. It is pretty strong right now. And there's one thing I like about this is that there's no dead zone. See, even the smallest adjustments, you can feel that the car is actually turning right here. So you got two modes. You got chill and standard. With chill, you're pretty much like you're driving around in a regular electric vehicle, and it doesn't give you all that crazy acceleration that you have there. But if you set it to standard, there we go. Oh, there's the power. There's the 5.8 second, and now we're in the speed limit. There we go. Now, if you choose the all-wheel drive one, there is another setting on top of standard there. I just wish that they bring in the performance one, which is not available yet. It is available for the Model 3, and that has the, I forgot the name of that particular mode. I'm going to put it right here as a text box. I think they call it insane mode. But as it stands right now, even for standard, it's pretty insane. And that's the beauty about driving around in an electric car, because torque comes in right away. No need to spool up the revs. It's right there. And the Tesla's pretty good too. You got double wishbone suspensions right there in front and a multi-link in the back. So driving performance is more than adequate. I have to say so for myself. The Tesla is actually a good car to drive. It's not going to, it's not going to light up the world when it comes to performance or handling. It's just good enough to a point that you remember that this is still a good car. You've got all the apps that you need to distract you in traffic or maybe have a little fun while you're parked. But at the end of the day, it's still a great car. So that's our review of the Tesla Model Y. I now understand why it's so popular. It's because of all the convenience features, all those standard amenities that are available. Speaking of value, it starts at 2,369,000 pesos. That's right, 2,369,000 pesos. You get everything that we covered today, including the basic autopilot. You got all these nice wheels, this color. But if you want to add some extra, just head on over to the Tesla website to see how much they are worth. Now, there is another variant, the all-wheel drive long-range variant that starts at 2,689,000 pesos, which is still quite a steal and adds a lot more range to the standard Tesla Model Y that we're reviewing today. But personally, if you ask me, I would pick this one because it has long enough range, and again, that lower price tag just fits my budget a little bit more. But what do you think? Drop me a comment in the comment section down below. Would you get the Model Y long range variant, or this variant, or some other variant of electric car out there? I want to see your answers right there below, because I believe that if you have anything out there that can rival the Model Y, I want to know. And while you're at it, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification icon so you won't miss any of our videos. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Roy Roberts from Zigwheels.Ph. I will see you guys next time.